New Year's Eve was always the highlight of Erica's year. For the last 5 years, she and her friends rented a remote cabin in the mountains to celebrate in peace. Away from the crowds, away from the chaos. This year was supposed to be the same. Music, drinking, laughter, and a countdown to midnight with the people she trusted most. The drive up had been uneventful. The cabin was gorgeous, tucked deep into the woods with floor-to-ceiling windows that looked out onto an endless sea of trees. The isolation was intentional. No neighbors, no cell service, no interruptions. It was perfect. By 10 p.m., the party was in full swing. Music boomed from the Bluetooth speakers and bottles of champagne were already being popped. Erica leaned against the counter, sipping her drink as her boyfriend, Matt, argued with Sophie over the playlist. Matt, Erica, settle this. Is Bohemian Rhapsody or Don't Stop Believin' the ultimate New Year's song? Erica laughs. Neither. It's obviously Dancing Queen. Before they could argue further, a loud bang shattered the moment. The music cut off. Everyone froze, glancing around. The sound had come from outside. Sophie, what was that? Ryan? Probably just fireworks. It's New Year's Eve. People are lighting them off early. Erica frowned. The sound hadn't been sharp like a firework. It had been dull and heavy, like a door slamming shut, or something hitting the cabin. Matt, I'll check it out. Erica, are you serious? Matt, it's probably nothing. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Ryan, I'll make sure he doesn't get eaten by a bear. The two disappeared out the front door, leaving Erica and the others staring at one another. Minutes passed, stretching into what felt like hours. Erica stood by the window, peering into the black forest beyond. The trees stood unnaturally still, their branches unmoving despite the light wind. The front door slammed open, and Ryan stumbled inside, his face pale and his breaths ragged. Erica, where's Matt? Ryan, he's gone. Sophie, gone where? Ryan, we didn't see anything, but I heard it. Something in the trees. It sounded like whispers. The power went out. The cabin plunged into darkness. The sudden silence was deafening, broken only by someone's sharp intake of breath. Erica fumbled for her phone, turning on the flashlight. The whispers began. At first, they were faint, almost imperceptible. Erica spun around, trying to pinpoint the source, but the sound seemed to come from everywhere at once. Sophie, you hear that, right? The whispers grew louder, overlapping until they were incomprehensible. Then, just as suddenly, they stopped. Erica, we're leaving. They grabbed their coats and bolted for the door. The forest outside was cloaked in fog so thick it seemed alive, swirling like smoke under the glow of their flashlights. But when they reached the driveway, their escape was blocked. The path they had driven in on was gone, replaced by a wall of trees that seemed to have grown overnight. Their car was nowhere in sight. Sophie, this can't be happening! Something moved in the fog. A tall figure, barely visible, stood among the trees. It didn't move, but its presence was suffocating. Erica, back inside. The group retreated, locking the door behind them. They huddled in the living room, clutching kitchen knives and fireplace pokers, their breath visible in the freezing air. The clock on the wall ticked loudly, the sound echoing in the silence. 11:45 p.m. Erica tried to stay calm, but her mind raced. What had they stumbled into? She thought about Matt, about the strange whispers and the figure in the fog. At 11:59 p.m., the whispers returned. This time, they weren't coming from outside. Erica's blood ran cold as she realized the sound was inside the cabin. The whispers grew louder, turning into raspy voices. They spoke her name. Whispers. Erica, come outside. Her friends stared at her, their faces pale. Ryan, do you hear that? Before she could answer, the clock struck midnight. The front door blew open with a deafening bang. A freezing wind howled into the room, extinguishing the candles and plunging them into darkness. The whispers turned into screams. The figures emerged from the fog. Tall, skeletal beings with elongated limbs and hollow eyes, their movements unnatural and jerky. They poured into the cabin, their twisted forms blotting out the light from the windows. Erica's friends screamed, their voices drowned out by the sound of the creatures. One by one, they were dragged into the night. Erica ran for the back door, but it wouldn't budge. She turned, her heart hammering, as one of the creatures reached for her. Its bony fingers wrapped around her arm, pulling her toward its gaping, featureless face. The last thing she saw was the clock on the wall, its hands frozen at 12 o'clock. The next morning, the cabin stood silent. The forest was still, the fog gone. A group of hikers found the place later that day, abandoned and eerily pristine. No bodies, no signs of struggle, just a clock on the wall, its hands stopped at midnight, and faint whispers in the wind.